Okay guys, so here's the XTM 247 rebuild. This is take 2. I just totally screwed myself and missed half the freaking video replacing the bearings. Pissed me off. Yeah, I was in the middle of putting the bearings back in, and I went to go hit pause, and I accidentally hit stop, and I fucking lost like a good 10-minute chunk of video. Especially one of me burning the crap out of myself. Anyways, pissed me off. Fuck, I hate that. That's a real big annoyance. I can't wait to get new camera gear. Ones that I can actually hit pause and it doesn't go, oh, okay, well, you just unsaved your video. Well, shit. Anyways, so let's recap for a minute here. So this is the XTM 247 I made a video about. Old block, going in the trash. This is the old plastic backplate. We're upgrading to, here's the part number, an LRP 28 backplate, which came with the screws. One-way shaft starter bearing, or one-way bearing starter shaft, and you can use the Dynamite or LRP or SH pull starters with this rather than the stupid plastic one, which is going in the garbage, along with the old block. Junk. No good. Right, now, okay, that really sucks that happened, but yeah, so we got our brand new block, brand new bearings, all brand new. You said brand new enough times? Probably not. Yep, absolutely lovely. Everything went together swimmingly, but like I said, unfortunately, I hit the wrong freaking button on my phone and stopped the video instead of hitting pause, which totally screwed me over. Like, I haven't done that in a while. Shit, pissed me off. Okay, we're just gonna stick our crank in there, some oil on it. Something like that. And drop that guy. Oh, I gosh, actually put a couple drops down the front. And the bearings. There you go. Oh yeah, like butter. Sweet. All right, now we're gonna move on to the next part. So yeah, the post office there. I was supposed to be getting my pull starter in today and my cylinder head screws, but because they're a bunch of freaking overpaid whiners and decided, oh geez, we don't want to go out today. They all my shit's just sitting down the street there, like literally a block from my house. I can throw a rock at it from here. Fucking people. Anyways, moving on. So we got ourselves a new wrist pin and new connecting rod. The stupid thing is, I don't know why they don't do this, but they don't include piston pin clips with the guy, the piston pin. I mean, shit, you know, you're gonna be in there replacing it. You know, oftentimes you lose the clips, and why the hell not? You know, like, come on, people, get it together. Get it together. That should have taken far less time. But plastic and everything. I don't have the part number, sorry. A lot of people are asking where I got the parts for this. Like, what, you know, how did I get them? Where did I get them? Who sold them? Or was it on eBay? Well, yes, it was on eBay. I can't really help you with that, unfortunately. Since the seller, well, I think I made a video about it the other day. The guy is from Ukraine, which, like I said, is quite crazy. I didn't know they sold XTM shit over there, but apparently they do. Or did, or whatever. You know what, I'm going to go get myself a big plastic bag because I don't fancy losing that clip because I don't have another one. So yeah, the seller is from Ukraine, and he or she or whoever it was had a bunch of, not a bunch, but a handful of new old stock XTM shit laying around, so I happened upon it and thought, oh, friggin' A, so I scored that. And totally won there, so I'm basically getting a new engine here for pretty cheap. So I'm going to remove that tiny little clip in order to replace the pin and the rod, because they are worn out on this engine here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty hard to... Oh, Oh, hey, there we go. That went the first try. Sweet. All right, so there's a little clip. You don't want to lose that. It's right here by my finger I'm pointing at. And if you do lose that and you put your engine together, well, expect it not to last much more than about 5 minutes, because that clip will come out of there. And, well, let's just put it this way. Bad things will happen. Okay, so this cutting board looks extremely dirty. It's actually clean. It's just stained with a bunch of junk. So we're going to look at, we already know which way our connecting rod goes, so if you look at it, so you look at the cutout side, right, that windowed side, and you see it's the only side that has the groove on it, right? See, there's the back side. This faces towards the exhaust. This faces towards the carburetor side. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm looking at here. See that groove? And you can also tell the bottom eye here, the bottom, the pin board has a taper on one side that always faces towards the crank. So, just in case you guys fucking forget how it went back together. Let's see if I can get this pin out of here. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a tragedy. Oh man, it's going to be hard to get that out of there. It's never been out, or at least I've never had it out before, so. Let's see. Oop, shit. Don't do that. There we go, it moved. Right there. It's just old and seized in there a little bit, right? So you're just going to be careful and just push her out. And it's moving. Yeah, like I said, it's just old. Old worn out shit. No, I did not scratch the piston just there. Okay, do not fuck with that clip, because if you screw that one up, then totally dickered if you do that. Okay. I'm freaking just documenting this on photos for people that want it, so. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about all this COVID shit. God's sake. Like every 5 minutes on the radio, COVID, COVID, COVID. It's like, for fuck's sake, we get it. Thanks. I understand. It's not good. Yeah, there's our old rod. And how's everything looking there? Everything looks pretty friggin' snazzy clean. Well, I mean, it's got varnish in there, but that's nothing you can do about that, really. Yeah, I did find a piston and sleeve on eBay for this motor, engine. But they wanted a ridiculous, and I mean a ridiculous amount of money for it. I think they wanted, what was it, $150 for the piston and sleeve, and then they wanted like $95 shipping. I'm like, fuck, that's like $200. That's ridiculous. So it can stay right where it is. And it was the wrong one too. They say it's for a 247, but it's got the wrong. It's not the 6-port like this. It's a 3-port. They don't fit the block, so just be careful. All right, and that was pretty good and clean in there. Give it some oil. Some oil in those pin bores. Oil the pin. And strap her back together here. My upstairs neighbor is an idiot. I think I've explained that before. He always picks the worst time to start doing dumb things. There we go. Nice. Very, very nice. Ooh, nice and tight. No more play. All right. Make sure that pin's seated against that clip. Can't go nowhere. All right. Old rod. Old worn out pin. Oil on everything. Let's get this quick little wipe so I can actually hold on to it, because they're all slippery with oil like that. Well, I mean, that could be a fun thing too. Never mind. Never mind. Dirty, dirty. Now here comes the fun part of putting that thing back in. Came out nice and easy. That doesn't mean it's going to go back in nice and easy. And thankfully the people over top of me are moving out soon. Well, not soon enough, but cannot wait to see their asses in the fucking U-Haul down the street. Cannot wait for that day, man. Cannot wait for that day. Oh, that went in. First shot. It's in there. Sweet. That worked out really well. Yeah, so the idea behind the bag here is if you're taking these clips in and out, and one goes twang and it flies away on you, it'll get caught in the bag rather than losing it forever and pissing yourself off to the highest level of pistivity. So we're just going to take and we're just going to push on that back side of the pin and just make sure it's seated, the clip, because these clips, they can sit sideways in there because there's like a little tiny groove, right? And if that clip is just sitting a little bit cockeyed off to one spot, they can weasel their way out and fly off and hit the ports and screw your motor, right? So you got to make sure you push the pin in one direction, you push it in the other, just to make sure those clips are both seated properly. That's a tip there. And I keep getting comments about, oh, nitro fuel, and oh, if you run high nitro or higher nitro, like 30%, like something like, I say, a 12, it's bad for it. Well, no, it's not. I mean, considering there's small engines out there, like the Cox engines, that recommend over 40% nitro. Yeah, so I mean, running higher, like, I mean, I've run my 12s on 30% for absolutely years and not once ever had a failure. It's lack of tuning skills that kills engines, not higher nitro. Unless you didn't shim it properly or the manufacturer recommends that, and if they do, then do what they say. If not, then whatever. And people go, oh, well, it only recommends 16 to 25% nitro. I can't run 30, or I can only run 16 or whatever. It's like, well, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize is that in a lot of countries like Europe, they don't have 30%. Like a lot of places like Spain or Netherlands or Germany might only have between 16 to 20%, and that's it, due to their bylaw or regulations and government, right? So just because it says that doesn't mean it's actually true. Like if you look at a lot of Italian engines, it'll say 16 to 20% nitro. Well, we don't have 16% here. So it's not a big deal. It's just what they have, so that's what they recommend for their country. Okay, so crankshaft installed. Right here. Look at that crank. It's freaking beautiful. It's like brand new almost. Perfect. That's factory work there, by the way. I didn't do that. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, don't worry about that. So if you do have an engine that says use only 16 or 20% nitro, unless it says anywhere else in the manual stating otherwise, sure, you can run 30%. You're not going to hurt nothing. Okay. So let's take our new piston. And remember that cutout window side goes towards the front of the motor. Front of the engine, sorry. Let's slip our piston in there. Yeah, sorry I couldn't catch that freaking doing the bearings on video like that. Pissed me right off. I just hit the wrong button on my phone and canned my fucking video. Come on. Don't be like that. Some people saw that fake SH video where I used 5W30 to put the motor together with. Won't hurt nothing. This is just ATF and 5W30. It's your own homemade after on oil, basically. It's perfectly fine to use. Won't hurt nothing at all. So there we go. Rotating assembly together. Okay, so I'm just going to snap a few more photos of that because, like I said, people keep asking, so I'm doing that. No biggie. Wow, does this phone ever take craptastic photos compared to my freaking S9? Holy cow. It's an old S5 Galaxy I've had forever. Got it for free. Just need a little brake clean. Gonna see how we're doing for time here. Make sure we're not running out. Make sure I'm not filming myself and talking to myself and there's nothing going on. Oh, okay, yeah, we got a few minutes left here still. I'm gonna start fucking pouring the steam on and stop jibber jabbering so much. Okay. Some Astroglide on the outside there, a little Astroglide on the inside there. And so we got our 2 marks, our notch and our pin. Line those guys up. And I'll play with the piston a little bit. Oh, there she goes, went right together. Friggin' Astro, it's great stuff, man, I'm telling you. Some of you might get that reference. Some of you may not. Alright, so very nice and smooth. Perfect. Nice tight pinch at the top. Considering this piston sleeve was in really poor shape. Alright, let's get that new backplate on. I'm sure most of you know how to install a pole starter, at least most of you guys. An awful lot of people interested in the Pro 15s lately. Jesus, I mean, yeah, they're cool, but yeah, stay away from the that Traxxas 33 bullshit. This stuff's garbage. All right. Oh, I forgot to turn off my radio. Shit, hopefully the freaking YouTube police don't come after me and can my freaking video. Alright. Okay, moving on. You guys like my explosion t-shirt? It's kind of cool, eh? A little WD on the screws. Just so they're not dry. And then this one-way bearing, it has fat slots and skinny ones. So we're going to use a skinny one. And no oil needs to go here because as soon as you start it, there's going to be oil there anyway. Okay, so we're going to line up one of the skinny ones with our crank. And there she be, all back together in the bottom half. Yeah, friggin', yeah, fuck, that pissed me off, man, I'm telling you. Had a video burning the crap out of myself, and it's gone. The joys of filming with cell phones. One of these days, I'll actually have a good camera and build myself a overhead camera that faces looking straight down. Which will look pretty freaking awesome, I think. Maybe have multiple angles or something, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll get there when we get there, guys. People, you should do this and you should do that. Well, I could do anything I want, as long as I have the cash to do so. Alright. Well, that bottom half's together. Let's get our head button. And like I said, I'm missing a cylinder head screw. It would have been in today, but Canada Post. Bunch of whiners. Alright, so we got another picture. And we got a new OSLC3 plug, which is supposed to be in there, which is a hot standard reach plug. And hot doesn't mean the engine gets hotter. Hot means you can tune richer. Okay, make sure there's no schmutz. There's a little bit of schmutz. Let's unschmutz. Alright. Nice and lovely. Okay. Head button time. There's no markings on which way this is supposed to go, so I'm just going to put it any old way. And then our cylinder head. Put a dab of oil on them screws. This is just transmission fluid mixed with diesel, so this guy faces forward. Yeah, see, I'm missing one screw, so I'm not going to be tightening the head all the way down. I'm just going to snug everything, kind of. Because if you start screwing cylinder heads down with not all the screws, you can warp shit, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go down with one. You'll notice the head will pull to one side. When that happens, loosen it back off again, because it's not proper. And then go across. And notice that one will try to pull down a little bit. And go back to your other one. Go back and forth. And then go to your third. Do the same thing. You'll feel it go to tighten up, and then just back it off half a turn so it's a little bit loose, and then just continue on in your star pattern. But like I said, I'm not going to be tightening these down all the way because I only have 3. Fucking sakes. God, I miss not filming with this thing so much. Like freaking, it's like this phone is just a tragedy. It just does not focus on anything. It used to piss me off. I used to just want to huck the thing across the room. Nice and tight. That noise you're hearing is just this. That's all that is just the starter. There's just the backlash and the starter pin there, so not to worry. Not to worry, not to worry. And put on our carburetor. Swing. Yeah, it's not dirty, it's just got staining on it from being corroded a little bit. Also, don't use pliers. I'm just using these just to snug this barely. You know, then I'm going to tighten it up with the correct socket, obviously. Just enough to hold it in place. That's all. Tighten it down until it starts to loosen off, then back it off half a turn. You know, typical stuff. And there we are, all freshly rebuilt. So, like I said, the only thing I'm waiting on is the SH or Dynamite pull starter, which was supposed to be here today, and it's totally friggin' not. So we're waiting on that. I'm waiting on a head screw, and bam, there you go. Brand new 247 or 24/7 or whatever the hell you call it. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We're also waiting on the cylinder head for this. So it will look like that. I don't know if you guys have ever, well, you guys might have seen this one fucking floating around in some of the other videos, but so this is a HPI 15E, not a 15FE, because it doesn't have those weird motor feet. This is a 12E, so they're essentially the exact same engine, except, well, one's a 12, one's a 15, but I found a nice, cool purple cylinder head on eBay floating around there, so when it gets here, it was supposed to be here today, but it wasn't, and when it does get in, I'll slap it on here. I'll make a little bit of that, so you guys can see with my little vintage HPIs. A lot of people ask, you know, did HPI used to make their own engines? Actually, no, these were made by Toki in Japan. They were made for HPI, but they're not made by HPI, if that makes any sense. And people say sealed front bearing. These are just a metal shielded bearing. They don't actually seal. They kind of seal, but they don't. And this also has the, it'll open. Oh, there we go. This also has the 15E carburetor on it. So it's a 2-needle carb with a large barrel, because I don't have time for shit that doesn't perform. So I'll put a drop oil on that carburetor. It just kind of got sticky because it's been sitting for a few months. That's better. Yeah, so you guys will see that. There'll be a new head gasket, new cap head, Allen screws, all that kind of junk. But until then, guys, there she be. Sorry I couldn't get the bearing install part on video, but it's the way it is, unfortunately. But like I was saying, as always, thanks for watching. Keep on burning nitro out there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a vid. So there will be more stuff showing up whenever the hell that happens. Until then, guys, take it easy. Peace out.